Well, the history of Mount Pisgah actually goes back to the Native Americans, and they found it to be an ideal place to live because it was ideally situated between two rivers, and it had abundant wildlife for hunting and fish for their food source. Plus it had the camas root, which they used as one of its native plants. And Mount Pisgah was home to the Kalapuya tribe, and they had lots of evidence of that because bowls and arrowheads have been found actually on Mount Pisgah. After the Indians, and when the settlers began arriving in the Willamette Valley, Elijah Bristow founded the community of Pleasant Hill, one of the first Oregon communities. And he stayed there because of it being an ideal place to live, just like the Indians found Mount Pisgah. And shortly after Bristow arrived, there was the Homesteader Act, which provided land if people would settle there. And a family by the name of Deary, D-E-R-Y, settled on the shoulders of Mount Pisgah and began raising cattle and grain, corn. And for nearly 100 years, this farmer and rancher ran cattle on the mountain. And those cattle kept native grasses abundant along with wildflowers. And when that gentleman was in his late 90s, he decided he wanted that land preserved and donated it to the state of Oregon. And the state at the time felt they didn't have the resources to manage it, so they in turn turned it over to Lane County Parks. And today Lane County is managing Mount Buford Recreation Area, or Mount Pisgah, in conjunction with its neighbor, the Nature's Conservancy. And they're trying to restore the natural vegetation and remove all of the noxious weeds and increase wildflowers and all the things that they want to see happen. They're using fire, again, like the Indians did, and they're doing some white oak restoration work on the east side of the mountain, and they're doing a lot of grassland and prairie restoration, again in conjunction with the Nature's Conservancy, who owns the north side of the mountain, and Lane County Parks owns the south side of the mountain, and the two are very compatible neighbors.